Welcome students. Today we will start with NCERT Class 12 Economics. This is Part B, Chapter 3, Growth and Development of Agriculture, Industry and Foreign Trade from 1947 to 1990. So let's start. Agricultural development. Agriculture plays an essential role in the process of economic development of less developed countries like India. Besides providing food to nation, agriculture releases laborers, provides savings, contributes to market of industrial goods and earns foreign exchange. Agricultural development is an internal part of overall economic development. In India, agriculture was the main source of national income and occupation at the time of independence. Agriculture and allied activities contributed nearly 50% of India's national income. Around 72% of total working population was engaged in agriculture. This confirmed that Indian economy was a backward and agricultural based economy at the time of independence. Next, features of agricultural development. So the main features of agricultural development are: Indian farmers have shifted from subsistence cultivation to commercial farming. Increasing application of modern method of cultivation. There exists dualism in the labor market. The level of wages in the agricultural sector is lowered as compared to industrial sector. Increasing availability of institutional credit to Indian farmers. Monsoon dependence has been falling slowly but continuously decreasing. There are wide varieties in agricultural output, and different regions of the country vary considerably in terms of nature of soil, amount of rainfall, and water availability. Next, agricultural policy since independence. During the colonial rule, there was neither growth nor equity in the agricultural sector. The main policy followed during 1950 to 1990 were as follows: land reform, technological measures, agricultural subsidy policy, agricultural price policy, institutional credit, improvement in agricultural marketing, and food security system. So point number 1 is land reforms. Land reforms or institutional reforms aims at reducing inequalities in Indian agriculture and included the following actions by the government: abolitions of intermediaries, tenancy reforms, ceilings on land holdings, consolidations of land holding, and cooperative farming. So point number A is abolitions of intermediaries. Intermediaries, popularly known as zamindars, were abolished. Ownership rights were given for those who actually cultivated the soil. As a result, the government intended to achieve two objectives: stop exploitations of the cultivators by the zamindars, give incentives to the cultivators to make improvement on land as its owners. The abolition of intermediaries means that some 200 lakh tenants got ownership rights and they came into direct contact with the government for the payments of land revenue. Number B, tenancy reform. Along with the abolition of the zamindari system, tenancy reform were introduced. Farmers working as a tenant farmers were confirmed with ownership rights. Point number C, ceiling on land holdings. With a view to promoting equality in the distribution of land, ceiling were imposed on the holding size. Ceiling on holding defined specify the maximum size of cultivable land that an individual or a family could own. The surplus land was resumed by the government and redistributed among smallholders or landless laborers. Point number D, consolidations of holdings. With a view to reducing fragmentation, consolidations of holdings was accorded a high priorities. Consolidation is a practice to allot land to the farmer at one place for his scattered holdings here and there. It saves the cost of cultivation. By 2004, more than 1,633 lakh hectares of land was brought under consolidated holdings. Point number E, cooperative farmings. Cooperative farming was promoted to enhance bargaining power of the smallholders. Collectively, the farmers could buy inputs at a lower price and sell their products at a higher price. Point number 2. Technological measures. The Government of India initiated a number of technological measures to raise agricultural productivity. Point number 3. Agricultural subsidy policy. The proponents of subsidies believe that since agriculture is a risky business in India, subsidies are needed. It is argued that a large number of farmers are poor and do not have sufficient means to purchase the required inputs, hence the need for subsidies. The proponents of farming subsidies further argued that if subsidies are eliminated, the inequalities between the rich and the poor farmers will expand, because while the rich can reap the benefit of new technology, the poor cannot. The objective of the agricultural subsidy policy is to increase agricultural production and productivity by encouraging the use of modern inputs in agriculture. Point number 4. Agricultural price policy. To ensure fair returns to the farmers, the government started fixing the minimum support price and procurement price for a number of agricultural commodities like wheat, paddy, etc. The minimum support price were fixed so as to ensure that price of agricultural commodities should not fall below this price. The Commission of Agricultural Cost and Price was established by the government for this purpose. Point number 5. Institutional credit. Another important measure initiated by the government was the expansion of institutional credit to farmers through cooperative and commercial banks. Point number 6. Improvement in agricultural marketing. Regulated markets were set up by the government to ensure reasonable price to the farmers for this produce. Cooperative farming societies had also been established. These societies sell the produce of their members at reasonable price. Point number 7. Food security system. The government had built up an elaborate food security system in the form of public distribution system during 1950 to 1990. Next, new agricultural strategy. The new agricultural strategy was put into practice for the first time in India in 1966. This was termed as high-yielding variety programs. The high-yielding variety programs was introduced in the form of package program since high-yielding variety of seeds required regular and adequate irrigation facilities, extensive use of fertilizer, pesticides and insecticides. As a result of this program, a surprise increase in food grains production was observed in 1967 to 68. The economists termed the increase in production as Green Revolution. Meaning of Green Revolution. The Green Revolution was an agricultural reform that increased the production of crops worldwide between 1950s up till the late 1960s. It includes the use of high-end techniques and technologies along with good quality raw materials to enhance the production of crops. The advent of this technology changed global agriculture and prevented various developing countries, including India, from a mass famine. So students, the remaining topics we will continue in the next video. Thank you.